Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we will be talking about everything that was announced at Gamescom, or not everything that was announced at Gamescom, but every game that I'm interested in that they showed at Gamescom. We're gonna be going through a ton of games that were, showed off, from Resident Evil to they announced a new Lego Batman game. The people who made Black Myth Wukong announced a new game. We're gonna be getting into a lot of stuff that I'm interested in talking about in today's video, and so yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the games, all the things, so like the video, subscribe, and yeah man, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so talking about the first game that I want to talk about from Gamescom, we got some new Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9, whatever you want to call it. We got new footage of the game at Gamescom. Now we knew that Resident Evil was going to show up at Gamescom, so this is not a surprise or anything, but the footage that we did see at Gamescom was very interesting. The footage that we got was of we got footage of the main character. I think her name is Grace Ashcroft, or I might be wrong. I know it's Ashcroft something. And she's the lady with the blonde or kind of dyed white hair looking chick. She's got the glasses and everything. And in this trailer, we see her with her mom. Basically, they're at this hotel. Now, they did, I think, talk about a little bit about this event that happens in this game in the first trailer that we got for this game. Apparently, the mom was wrapped up in some secret thing that happened in the hotel. Obviously, we don't know, the role her mom is, playing in this game, or what has transpired or what has happened. But in this trailer, we get footage of what transpired on that day, or I guess that night at the hotel, and we get basically gameplay footage. We only get like a little bit of gameplay, and also actually, because I'm recording this the day after Gamescom, there has been more gameplay footage of Resident Evil 9 that has been released. There's kind of like not a demo or per se, but like it's like footage of the main creature that's going to be basically following you around through like this house that you're in. But I'm gonna save that for a different video. But I mainly want to talk about this trailer. Obviously, a lot of spooky, weird things happen in this trailer. Freaking the mom and the daughter end up, having to leave this hotel because of some. It looks like in the trailer there's these like black or like these hooded guys with like plastic bags, and they like strangle people with the plastic bags. I don't know why they do that, but there's probably some story reason to why they do that, and they're wearing the black hoodies, or they're basically probably the mom is basically tied to that, or they're trying to kill the mom because maybe she knows something that she's not supposed to know or something like that. I don't know, but obviously we do know that this game has the ability to be first person or third person. Now they did show a little bit more of that in the recent footage of the game that they've shown off, but like here, the game starts off with the mom and daughter in like this in their hotel room, and obviously someone ends up calling them on like the phone, and the daughter picks up the phone. The person's like, is this Ashcroft or like whatever, and then the daughter says yes, and then they hang up, and then the lights cut off, and then they end up having to leave. It's in the first person mode. The mom is like, trying to get you out of the hotel. And what's cool about this, and that we've seen this in like a lot of other games, obviously, but it's like always so like cool to see it, whenever a game does it, is when like you're not in the gameplay, like it's gameplay like, or it's like it's the footage of the actual game, but like you're in a cutscene, but it switches from the cutscene into the actual gameplay transition like smoothly. Like it's like instant. Like stuff like that I think is like so cool when we see that. Like obviously that's not like a new thing. Games have been doing that for a while now, but like it's so cool to like actually like see it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, man, this Resident Evil 9 footage that they showed was pretty cool. It's, game's coming out February of next year, so I'm really interested in seeing how this game stacks up to like other Resident Evil games. Like I've played Resident Evil 2 Remake, I've played Resident Evil 3 Remake, I've played Resident Evil 7, and I've played Resident Evil 8. So I've played like a good considerate amount of Resident Evil games, I feel like now. And so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they switch it up for this game, how they, what they do differently. Obviously we know that Raccoon City is supposed to play like a role in this game, or they're supposed to be going back to Raccoon City in some form or capacity. People have been also been theorizing that Leon Scott Kennedy could show up in this game too. We'll just have to see when the game comes out. February 26th, I think, is the release date. So yeah. Okay, the next game that I want to talk about is Silent Hill F. We've been seeing this game more. The game comes out, I believe, in October. We got a new trailer at Gamescom. We got kind of like a story trailer, also mixed in with some gameplay, and I'm interested in this game. The only Silent Hill game that I've actually played and beat was the Silent Hill 2 remake that came out last year, and for that being my first Silent Hill game, I actually really enjoy that game. Like obviously I haven't played the original Silent Hill 2, so I don't have like a direct comparison on like which one I think is like better necessarily, but like the one that I played, the remake, I thoroughly enjoyed. I like the psychological horror elements that it had, the gameplay itself, and that's something that I wanted to like touch upon in this trailer too. The gameplay in Silent Hill 2, obviously in that game, the combat in that game is not, complex or anything. You're literally just, beating creatures with like pipes or like wooden sticks and stuff like that. And so the gameplay in that game is not necessarily, complex or anything like that. It's serviceable. It's not bad in my opinion. Like obviously I feel like the strengths when it comes to that game is like, the puzzle solving, the psychological horror elements, and just like the weird, just the environment that you in, with the fog and everything. That's that's an iconic thing with Silent Hill, is like the fog, especially in 2. So in this game, I was looking at some of the combat in this game, and it looks pretty similar to Silent Hill 2. Some people were saying that like, and I noticed this as well, as like when the character, or I don't know the main character's name, but like when the character like hits an enemy, it like pauses for a moment, and I don't know if that's like a specific, for like, if that's like a gameplay, reason, or if that's like just a stylistic choice that they went through, or that they went with. I don't know. But this game takes place in, I believe, it looks like it takes place in Japan. I don't know like when and like where in Japan, but does this game take place in Japan? I'm pretty sure it takes place in Japan. I want to make sure that I actually know what I'm talking about, so like, hold on. So I was right, it takes place in Japan, but it takes place in the 1960s in the town of Besu Gaku. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, but it's supposed to be a town, a rural Japanese town in the 1960s. I didn't even know it took place in the 1960s. But it does. But yeah, going back to like the setting, I like the whole Japanese setting. Obviously the main character is like in this schoolgirl like uniform, so I don't know if she's like a teenager or if this is like, I don't know, I'm not sure. But another cool detail that I found out is that obviously this game is going to have like different ways of like experiencing the games in terms of like the language. Like obviously, you know, I guess you can play this game in Japanese or you can play this game, but the English version of this game, the main actress who plays the main character is Susie Young, and she actually played Yuffie. If you don't know her, she played Yuffie, or she plays Yuffie in the Final Fantasy VII Remake games.
Some know me as the world's greatest materia hunter. Others, an unstoppable assassin. And the rest, a benevolent and beautiful ninja. But who am I truly? Who ties what rose? The one and only Yuffie!
Cool. She played Fuka Yamagishi in the Persona 3 Reload, and it's cool to see that she's in this game too. So it's cool to see that she's, you know, in more things and stuff like that. She seems like a pretty cool, you know, voice actress and everything, and so it's cool to see that she's in this game as well. So yeah, man, in terms of like the game itself, I'm super interested in playing this game this October. It's gonna be, you know, it comes out in October, so it's gonna be the perfect Halloween game to play. So I'm very I'm excited for this game. So yeah, man, let's move on to the next game. Okay, moving on to the next game that I wanted to talk about from Gamescom. Obviously, we know that PlayStation, in terms of their AAA story-driven games, is releasing Ghost of Yotei in, I think, October, I believe. Also in October, this game. And so, obviously, we've seen, I feel like, so much of this game. I feel like I didn't even like need to see a new trailer from Ghost of Yotei, because I feel like we've seen so many trailers and we've seen gameplay for this game. Obviously, we had the state of play, which I think was last month, and you know, it was a deep dive into like the gameplay and the story and everything. And so I feel like with this trailer, obviously, you know, it was nice to see more of this game. Obviously, we got more footage of like combat, more footage of like the story, just more footage of just like the environment that you're going to be exploring in this game. And so yeah, in terms of like this game, obviously I'm going to buy, this is a day one, you know, cop. I'm going to play this game when it comes out. I'm very excited. In terms of like the story, I know they've described it as a revenge plot. You're going and you're taking out these members of, I think they're called like the Yotei 6 or something like that. And so like it's basically like, it reminds me, and I've said this before, but it reminds me of Sifu, like, because in that game, it was kind of like a revenge story of you going out and trying to take out these members of like this gang who, you know, killed one of your family members or something like that. And so, yeah, man, I'm excited for this game, but like the main, I guess, surprise that was announced at Gamescom for this game is that we are getting Ghost of Yotei Legends. Now, in I think the first game, they also had Ghost of Yotei Legends, and I believe, or not Yotei Legends, or it was called Ghost of Tsushima Legends, but I believe it was like a multiplayer type game, I think. I know with this one, it's going to be like free DLC, so you're not gonna have to, if you own the game, you're gonna be able to play it. But I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure Ghost of Tsushima Legends was like a multiplayer style game. Yeah, it was a multiplayer game. It was a cooperative multiplayer experience inspired by Japanese folktales and mythology. And so I'm assuming this one is going to be a multiplayer experience, and you're going to be, you know, playing with other people. I did not play Ghost of Tsushima Legends when it first came out for Ghost of Tsushima. I only played the actual main game. I didn't even play the actual DLC that they had for that game, or like the extra content that they had for that game. So I think I do want to go back before I play Ghost of Yotei. I do want to play through Ghost of Tsushima again, and, you know, play, I think, also through the DLC as well. You know, just to get a feel of, you know, Ghost of Tsushima again, and, you know, just get prepared for this game. So yeah, man, I'm excited for Ghost of Yotei. It comes out October 2nd. And so yeah, not, you know, I don't really have anything else to say about this game. I feel like I've said enough. I'm excited. I want to play it. I want to get my freaking hands on the game. Yeah, let's continue to the next game. All right, so let's, jump into a more, I guess, kid-friendly game. I want to talk about Lego Batman. They showed off a new Lego Batman game at Gamescom called the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And I was actually like kind of surprised when I saw this announcement. Well, I guess it was kind of rumored that TT Games was making a new Lego game. I didn't know specifically if it was a Lego Batman game or not, but we do now know that it is Lego Batman, and it looks pretty cool. When it comes to Lego Batman games, I have a pretty fond history of playing the Lego Batman games. I think I had I'm pretty sure Lego Batman 2 on the Wii when I was a kid. So I remember playing that game. I remember playing Lego Batman 3. I think it was called Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, and I think I had that. I don't know if I played that game on the PS4 or I think I had it on Xbox maybe, but I don't remember. But I remember playing the Lego Batman games, and they are super fun. And this game looks pretty fun as well. Obviously, it's way, more goofier and way more like, just, goofy, I guess, if this is the word I'm gonna use. But like in terms of like the actual gameplay, I was looking at some of the gameplay, and it looks like it's more like, because when it comes to like the Lego games, like you're not really like, in terms of like the actual gameplay, it's not like anything like, crazy or anything like that. I mean, like you're just hitting guys and like they're, they like when you hit guys and like they die, they drop coins, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I don't specifically remember. But in terms of like the actual gameplay, I was looking at some of it. It kind of looks more akin to like the Arkham games a little bit, and just in terms of like, it looks like you were doing like free flow like combat in this game. And so it's going to be interesting to see like how evolved the gameplay is for this game. Like I don't think it's going to be on, it's definitely not going to be on levels of like Arkham Knight, like the complexity of like a combat system like that. But it does look pretty it does look different in like, it does look more like Arkham style, combat, but probably, on the lighter side. But in terms of like, I guess the story for this game, it's supposed to take place, or they're supposed to be encompassing the movies into this game. So like you're going to be playing through Batman Begins, I believe The Dark Knight Rises, and Robert Pattinson's Batman. And so you're going to be playing through the story of those games. Obviously, it's not going to be like a one-to-one. It's not going to be like a one-to-one experience like, those with those movies. Obviously, it's going to be more goofier, more sillier, more kid-friendly. I heard that they're going to be encompassing a lot of just Batman lore and stuff like that. Obviously, in the trailer, we get to see like freaking Heath Ledger's Joker, but in like Lego form. And we get to see freaking Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, and he accidentally steps on a Lego, and that's funny. And at the end of the trailer, we get the freaking Robert Pattinson with the Batman, and like the Penguin he's chasing the Penguin, but it's like Lego and like everything. So like I'm definitely like excited to see just the way they kind of parody like the different moments and different scenes from the actual movies and stuff like that. And so this game looks like it could be a fun time. And so yeah, man, I'm interested in this game. It comes out next year. I don't know when next year. And so yeah, I'm definitely interested in checking this out when it comes out. So yeah, on to the next game. Okay, so talking about another game that they showed at Gamescom, they showed off a little bit more of Onimusha, Onimusha: Way of the Sword. Now, I don't know anything about Onimusha. I don't know any, like, I've never played any of the other games. I don't know anything when it comes to Onimusha, but what I've been seeing from this recent Onimusha game in terms of like the actual gameplay itself, it looks pretty cool. Like, I have heard, and I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I have heard that the gameplay itself is more akin to like the God of War, specifically like the God of War 2018 game. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, I think I'm more interested in this game, because the game itself, it looks cool. Like, we've seen this game before, we've seen some of the combat in this game, but it looks pretty fun. Like, obviously the guy, I don't know the main character's name, but he has like a sword, he's like cutting through enemies, and he looks like he has other weapons. And the boss fights in this game look pretty cool. It looks like you're like parrying like enemy attacks, and like it just looks super cinematic and everything, and it looks pretty cool. And so yeah, I just wanted to touch upon a little bit of Onimusha. I don't know a lot about Onimusha, but the game itself looks pretty interesting, and I might actually, play it when it comes out next year. And so yeah, just a little short thing I wanted to add. And so yeah, let's move on to the next game. Okay, so this is not actually a game, but it is something that they did show at Gamescom, and it is obviously it's a, Gamescom is a gaming event, and so they showed off a game adaptation, and they showed off the new season, or season 2 of Fallout. And watching this, trailer, it looks pretty good. I have seen the first season of Fallout. I've never played any of the Fallout games, but I don't know, watching the first season of I do know like some things about Fallout. I know about like the freaking Pit-Boy. I know that it's, it's set in like a wasteland, and you got the vault dwellers and everything, and you got like all these like weird looking creatures that like come out from like the wasteland and stuff like that. But this season is focusing more on I guess New Vegas, or like it's supposed to be a take on the Fallout New Vegas game, and it's focusing on, obviously the setting of Las Vegas and everything, and it being in the wasteland and everything. But the trailer itself looks pretty cool. I watching the first season, I feel like I definitely liked the first season, but I feel like a lot more people loved the first season than like I did. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first season of Fallout, but like it wasn't like I wasn't like, oh my god, I love this show. Like, I definitely enjoyed the show. Like, if I had to compare like the first season to like the first season of the Last of Us HBO show, in my opinion, I would say that like that or the Last of Us show, I think at least the first season of the Last of Us, because the second season is a little bit rougher, but at least the first season of Last of Us, I think, was better than Fallout. Now, I know a lot of people would probably maybe like disagree with me on that, but I just felt like the first season of Fallout, it was good, but like I feel like it was I don't know, I just ended up liking the show, but I didn't end up like loving it. And so hopefully the new season that they have is, I end up loving it this time around. Like, there were some pretty cool surprises in this trailer. They showed off like a death claw, and that looked pretty cool, obviously, and everything. Obviously, we have the main character of Susie. She's back, so it's going to be interesting to see where her character goes, because she in this season she's looking for her father. Obviously, we've got the Ghoul. I forget the actor's name who plays the Ghoul, but he's also I'm pretty sure he's also the guy who plays Cecil in Invincible, and I really like that actor, and he's the Ghoul in this show. And the Ghoul, I thought in the first season, in terms of like my favorite things from the first season, the Ghoul was definitely one of my favorite parts of the first season. So it's cool to see that he's in this season as well, or this season 2. And yeah, man, this looks pretty good. It comes out in December, and so like, I definitely will be watching this. It looks pretty good. And so yeah, man, let's move on into the next one is actually going to be a game. It's not going to be anything else. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to one of the last things I wanted to talk about that they showed off from Gamescom. And I don't know if this was the last thing that they showed. I think it actually was like the last thing they showed at Gamescom yesterday. They showed off new, well, not gameplay. It was like a cinematic, but they showed off new footage of Game Science's new game. Now, a lot of people were thinking that this was going to be Black Myth Wukong DLC, and that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Obviously, Black Myth Wukong came out last year. I enjoyed Black Myth Wukong. I think the only thing I didn't enjoy was it had like frame rate issues, performance issues. I specifically played on consoles. I played it on a PS5, and the only thing holding that game back for me was the performance issues. Like everything else, from like the combat to like the actual boss fights, like there is so many boss fights in that game, and they are so like unique and different and cool. And so actually what's crazy about Black Myth Wukong is that like I actually got to like the end of that game, or I got to like the final boss against like, or I guess spoilers if you haven't played Black Myth Wukong, but I got to like the final boss, and obviously the final boss is kind of like it's basically Wukong, but like a evil version of Wukong. You basically have to fight yourself. And I actually did not beat the game, or I guess technically, or I didn't beat, because I know there's more than one ending, and I'm pretty sure the one I got wasn't necessarily the best ending, but I didn't beat it. So I do want to go back eventually and maybe replay Black Myth Wukong, because I do think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, that they did patch the game, because the game's been out for a while, and I haven't been back to the game since I think last year, the last time I played it. And so I am wondering, in terms of like the performance issues and like the frame rate issues that I had, if they've actually like fixed that, and it's actually, if it runs better. But actually talking about the trailer itself, obviously we didn't get like a lot of information from this trailer. The cinematic like starts off with like these two, I guess, brothers, and like they're like super tiny, but like they freaking pans to like these two goblin looking, I don't even know what you would like call these guys. They have like horns, but like they're carrying like this giant sword, and then there's like this giant tiger. There's this giant tiger, and there's like I guess the person that we're supposed to be playing as in this game is I think his name is Zong Koi or something like that. Okay, so set against the I'm reading the IGN article. Set against the backdrop of the classic Chinese folktale Zong Kao or Zong Koi, banishing evil Black Myth Zong Koi. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that name. It doesn't really roll off the tongue as much as like Black Myth like Wukong does. Like it's more like, I don't know. Is a single player action role-playing game rooted in ancient Chinese fantasy, Game Science said. The game will deliver distinctive experiences and gameplay features that push our limits, while also bringing fresh ideas and necessary changes to address past flaws and regrets. So I don't know what they mean with that last part. I don't know if they're talking about like the game itself, or the some of the things that they wanted to improve on from the first game. I don't know. But it looks like they're going to be they're going to be telling stories, or each game is not, because we were thinking that it was just going to be Wukong. But it looks like they're taking other Chinese folk tale lore, and they're turning those into games, and so that sounds pretty cool. I don't know anything about this character Zong Koi or anything like that, but it looks pretty interesting. And so I don't know if this game comes out, I don't know if they gave a release date or anything like that, but it's probably if this is a new game and it's not like DLC or anything like that, it's probably gonna take a while for this game to come out. And so I'm definitely excited and interested to see what Game Science has in store for this game. And so yeah, man. Maybe some other things that I wanted to touch upon before I close out this video is really just two things. They did show off a new trailer for Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. I didn't really talk about it that much, or I didn't talk about it at all, or it wasn't in one of my things that I wanted to talk about from Gamescom specifically, mainly because it's Call of Duty. It just looks like another Call of Duty game. It could be cool. Honestly, I'm a little bit more interested in Battlefield 6. That one looks more, I guess, just like in terms of like the actual, because I did play a little bit of the beta that they had for that game, and the multiplayer seems pretty fun. I don't know if I'm going to be getting either Battlefield 6, or I don't think I'm gonna get. I don't think I'm gonna get Black Ops, but I don't know if I'm gonna get Battlefield either. And so, yeah, Black Ops 7. It looks like it could be fun, but it looks like another Call of Duty game in my opinion. And they also did announce that Indiana Jones is getting DLC, and I kind of wanted to talk about that, but I decided not to, mainly because I haven't played through the main game yet. And the crazy part is that I actually have the game and I could play it, whenever I want. It's just there's so many games to play, so little time, and I'm kind of just waiting for the right moment to, I guess, pick up the game and play through it. And I definitely want to play through it this year. But yeah, the DLC looks like it could also be fun, but I do want to play through the main game first. So yeah, man, those are all of the announcements that I personally wanted to bring up and talk about in this video. Leave down in the comment section below what were some of the announcements that you are excited for that they showed off at Gamescom. Maybe some of the announcements that they made weren't actually in the video that I talked about. Maybe there are some games that I didn't talk about that you're excited for. Leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. So yeah, bye.